Jodie Foster, born Alicia Christian Foster on November 19, 1962 in Los Angeles, entered the world already carrying a weight most children never know. Her father, Lucius Foster, left before she was born, leaving her mother, Evelyn Brandy Foster, to raise 4 children alone. Money was tight, but love was abundant, and Brandy instilled values of courage, intellect, and resilience in her children. From her earliest months, Jodie showed extraordinary intelligence, speaking in full sentences at 9 months and reading books meant for older children by 4. Teachers and siblings alike recognized her precociousness, yet this gift came at a cost. Her childhood was overshadowed by the responsibilities of survival and the pressures of early talent. While most children played freely, Jodie's early years were consumed by auditions and commercial shoots, planting seeds of resilience but also the first subtle wounds of a childhood traded for brilliance. Childhood stolen by stardom. By 3, Jodie was discovered by a talent scout and cast in a Coppertone commercial, her face soon becoming familiar on American television. Over the next 18 months, she appeared in nearly 30 commercials, earning more than her mother and establishing a trust fund to manage her income. The playground and carefree laughter of early childhood were replaced with film sets, scripts, and the constant pressure to perform. By age 5, she landed a recurring role on Mayberry RFD, and by 13 had appeared in over 50 shows. Though producers marveled at her professionalism, the demands of fame were not by choice but necessity. Jodie often reflected that she had always been the adult in the room, learning responsibility far before her peers. This early loss of innocence created a foundation of discipline and resilience, but also a quiet ache that would follow her through life, shaping her relationships and her approach to the world in profound ways. Triumphs shadowed by danger. Her early film career was not without risk. At age 10, while filming Napoleon and Samantha, she worked alongside a trained lion, resulting in injuries to her back and side. Though she returned to set within days, wrapped in bandages, the psychological impact lingered in recurring nightmares. A year later, while performing stunts in Tom Sawyer, she broke her wrist but persevered, hiding pain behind a smile. These incidents exemplified a childhood in which danger and performance were inseparable, forcing Jodie to transform trauma into craft. The industry applauded her professionalism, but behind the applause was a young girl growing up too quickly. Each challenge reinforced resilience, but left deep emotional scars. These early experiences taught her not only to endure hardship, but to channel it into her performances, laying the groundwork for the intensity and authenticity that would later define her career. The weight of a controversial role. In 1976, Jodie was cast as Iris in Martin Scorsese's Taxi Driver, a role that would both immortalize her talent and deepen personal shadows. Extensive psychological evaluations and strict labor regulations attempted to protect her during filming, yet the mature content and revealing costumes pushed her beyond comfort. Despite these challenges, she delivered a performance that earned critical acclaim and an Academy Award nomination. Behind the scenes, however, the cost was heavy. Feelings of exposure, vulnerability, and emotional strain left lasting imprints. This experience highlighted the complex reality of child stardom, where accolades and acclaim could not erase the psychological burdens imposed by adult responsibilities too early. Jodie's capacity to navigate such intensity at a tender age became a defining feature of her craft, illustrating her extraordinary ability to transform fear and discomfort into compelling cinematic performances. Navigating adolescence amid fame. The late 1970s and early 1980s saw Jodie balancing fame, schooling, and personal growth. Disney comedies and darker films like The Little Girl Who Lives Down the Lane showcased her range, yet adolescence was spent under constant public scrutiny and industry demands. Her career took her across Europe, performing in languages she did not speak and embodying characters that required emotional maturity beyond her years. While applause and recognition were constant, loneliness and a sense of premature adulthood followed her. Jodie learned to navigate complex social and professional expectations while maintaining her integrity and craft. This period shaped not only her career but also her understanding of self-preservation, teaching her to guard her private life while mastering the demands of an unforgiving industry that expected brilliance without acknowledging the personal cost. Surviving public obsession and threats. In 1981, Jodie became unintentionally entwined with one of America's most shocking events when John Hinckley Jr. attempted to assassinate President Ronald Reagan, obsessed with impressing her. Overnight, her life was transformed. Federal agents guarded her dorm, reinforced glass was installed, and her privacy was under constant siege. Yale University, where she pursued literature, became a place of surveillance rather than exploration. Despite these intrusions, Jodie remained committed to her education, graduating magna cum laude and earning praise for her thesis on Toni Morrison. Yet Hollywood's fickleness left her career in limbo, facing repeated rejections and shelved films. Therapy became a lifeline, a tool to navigate both fame and trauma. This period underscored her resilience, demonstrating that brilliance and survival often required equal measures of intellect, emotional fortitude, and patience under scrutiny. Triumphs and artistic redemption. After enduring career setbacks, Jodie's breakthrough came with The Accused in 1988, portraying Sarah Tobias, a raw and scarred survivor. She channeled personal pain and years of hidden suffering into the role, earning her first Oscar at 26. Her next major triumph came with The Silence of the Lambs in 1991, where she trained with the FBI to authentically embody Clarice Starling, ultimately winning a second Oscar at 29. These achievements were not merely professional victories, but affirmations of resilience and authenticity. Jodie's performances carried echoes of a childhood shaped by sacrifice, trauma, and relentless expectations. Each role reflected not only her technical skill, but also the depth of her personal endurance, turning life's hardships into art that resonated across generations and solidified her as one of cinema's most compelling figures finding peace and love later in life. In 2014, Jodie married Alexandra Hedison, a photographer and actress, finding stability and sanctuary in a love that was quiet, nurturing, and supportive. Together, they built a home focused on family, warmth, and creative expression. Alexandra complemented Jodie's intensity with gentleness, offering a partner in both life and domestic routines. This relationship marked a turning point. Jodie no longer had to hide or edit her truth for public consumption. Her sons were raised protected from the glare of fame, her private world now a haven rather than a battlefield. This period demonstrated that happiness and love could be cultivated deliberately and quietly, shaped by experience and wisdom, emphasizing the value of sanctuary, loyalty, and emotional care in contrast to the performance-driven life that had dominated her early years. A life reclaimed. At 62, Jodie Foster now moves through life with quiet confidence. She chooses projects with intention, valuing quality over exposure, and divides her time between Los Angeles, New York, and Europe. Each place offering refuge and perspective, her days are filled with family, creative pursuits, and measured public engagement. The career that began with the pressures of early fame now exists on her terms. Through decades of trials, sacrifices, and losses, Jodie has reclaimed her narrative, finding peace in privacy, love, and authenticity. Her story is a reminder that brilliance often carries hidden cost, yet resilience, self-awareness, and deliberate choice allow a life to be reclaimed, defined not by circumstance but by the courage to live fully and intentionally despite the shadows of the past.